Oh, hello. I am live. Took a minute to get in here. But I'm here. I'm here. Now, welcome to my show, Create a Life You Love, the Blueprint, where I'm all pretty in purple, which is my favorite color, as my name is Violet. So, welcome to my show. Now, we have been on this journey, and I'm going to call this a journey because what I have come to find out as you are creating a life that you love, boy, does it take work. Let me tell you, this is not for the feeble. That's one thing you're going to learn when you're creating a life that you love. When you're living on that vision every day, it is not for the feeble. You have got to stay in the game. Let me fix my pillow, make them look nice. You got to stay in the game. I'm going to reach over here because I have got some things that I want to talk about because we've been talking about aging and what does that look like. As long as you're 6 feet above, you're waking up every day and you're breathing, we are aging. And I'm talking to the women, mainly women over 40. Yeah, I think by then you've had some life experience. You pass your 20s and then your 30s when you think that your 30s are like, I'm 30. Oh my gosh. I remember when I turned 30. I don't know. But when I turned 40, that's what really, I was like, wow. But let me tell you, these numbers, they mean something. Aging means something that just, it identifies how long we've been here on this planet, on this earth. However, the best way to live is to create that life you love and to live on that vision every day. For me, there's no way around it. To live on purpose. That is fulfillment. To live on purpose, to live through your passion. And it sounds, I don't even like saying it sounds woo woo. I want to lift up excuse me, but I want to lift this up a little bit more, just a little bit higher. I don't want to say that it sounds woo woo because it's real. It's reality. And each time okay, so I'm going to be honest. Like for the past, I would say really started in May, maybe like April, May, and now we're in June. Okay. So a lot has taken place, and you'll find that in your own life. I don't know if you feel that way, but I feel like a change is upon me. Changes has been happening. Things have been shifted. Some things are ending and some things are beginning. And some things are being complete. What I have learned is that uh, okay, gosh, I have to spit it out. It's just no way around it. So I mentioned before that I've been a caretaker for my mother. So in doing everything that I'm doing, I've been a caretaker for my mother, and it's been a decade. I can't believe it's been a decade already. However, it's been 7 solid years. So within those 7 years, and I can pinpoint 7 years for something else. The bottom line is that count from, if you can count back 7 years, right? And to make this the seventh year, think of something 7 years ago that a goal you had or something you went through or a change you wanted to make or a change that you didn't want to make, but it came up. I mean, you had to make it. It was something out of your control. Think of, see if it was 7 years ago, because then we're going to count seven from that date to present and make it this year the seventh year, right? So seventh year ago, then this would be the seventh year. And because the seventh year is the year of completion. That's kind of where I'm on my journey at right now. And I'm going to take the show on that journey within the next 6 months because come January would be the eighth year, and that's the year of completion. Okay, the year that you complete. No, I'm sorry. The eighth year, number 8, is the year of new beginnings. 7 is the year of completion, and number 8 is the year of new beginnings. So, from moving forward, from like we have 6 months to think about wrapping up and completing whatever that thing is. You think about it, write it down, and meditate on that and write down what it is and what you want to come out of that. How does it need to be completed? Completed, and it's going to be completed. However, don't get stuck on the I want to say it's not the outcome. It was right on the tip of my tongue. Don't get stuck on the expectations that you have on how it should look, what it should look like while it's being resolved. Because sometimes we think, okay, well, I know this has to be done. It has to be resolved. This has to be completed. However, I want it to happen like this, and then this has to happen, and that has to happen. No. Follow your intuition. Write it down and ask God to guide you with the completion. How should this unfold to be wrapped up and resolved? What would that look like? And you will be guided. This is where you must walk by faith and not by sight. What is it? False evidence appearing real. Fear is false evidence appearing real. We don't want that. We don't want to focus on the false evidence appearing real, which would be fear. We want to focus on the faith. Okay, you have faith, and you just need small faith. You just need faith as small as a mustard seed. And once you have a mustard seed faith, it will grow. So you don't have to have big faith. You don't have to like, oh, I need this big thing, whatever. No, it's the little thing. That's why I believe God said faith is small as a mustard seed, because it's the small things that add up to the big things. You got to do the small thing first before you get to the big thing. You don't do the big thing. Nature is not even that way. Think about it. Women have eggs, men have sperm, and we can't even see them with our naked eye. Seeds. Just think about it. I don't have to go out through. We're old enough. We know. These are things that we've heard over and over and over again. Okay? Small mustard seed faith. Just asking. God is asking for you just to have mustard seed faith to see that thing change. Because what's going to happen is that you change. That's how the thing changed. The thing doesn't change and then you change. No, you change and then the thing change because you are creating the change. That's how it happens. And I'm only talking because that's what I'm experiencing. And we're the same. We're human beings. We are the same. Okay. That's how it works. Now, there's different levels of consciousness. When you become aware and you are conscious of that spiritual realm and how God works supernaturally, that's how he works. Mustard seed faith. Speaking of mustard seed faith and mustard seeds and seeds, I'm going to segue that into food because the topic is basically today talking about that. And I had titled, we have to go back in and change the title. eternal youth, the ultimate path to aging, the ultimate path to ageless eating, eating, ageless eating. And that would basically start, we talked about that last week. That would basically start with, if you think about it, a lot of things that have seeds in them, that they are planted from the ground. Those are the things from nature, from the earth, that help us in our bodies. So let's start with seed things, which to age agelessly, oh gosh, sometimes it just, when I say things, I'm thinking, wow, that sounds kind of, but it is. So, like, if I'm not saying, because I eat meat, but like they say, if you eat dead things, you got to be cautious of that, eating dead things. Focus on eating more living things. And that would be like your fruits, your vegetables. I would say nuts comes from the ground, that type of thing. I've heard it being said, things that have one ingredient, a banana, a berry, nuts, um, vegetables, right? Like cauliflower or greens. I like, it's a greens, now it's gone. It was here, now let boop. Um, it's not a collard green. Oh, it's right there. Maybe it'll come to me. But these greens, I really like them. They're like, the root is red and the leaf is like, it's green and then it has red things in them. Anyway, I like those greens because they're soft and they're easy to cook. You can cook them up really fast. So let's see. We have collard greens. We have spinach. That's good greens, like spinach. Of course, you have lettuce. The thing is that if you eat lettuce, I heard you're supposed to eat it fresh. My goal is to start planting like lettuce. So you can eat it within 1 or 2 days, and that's how it stays fresh. Basil, that's something you can grow easy. I was talking about leafy things. Um, Fruit, you can get fresh because you can get fruit at a farmer's market. You can get fruit, try to get organic fruit. If you're at a farmer's market, you're more than likely to get it organic because you're at a farmer's market. But I would still try to find out what type of pesticides they're using, that type of thing. One of my favorite fruits, and then we're going to fruits, is like, I love watermelon. I just love it. Watermelon, I'll have banana, but most time I'll put it in a smoothie. Banana, I like strawberries, I like berries. I like pineapple. I like pineapple. Um, Nectarines, apricots. I like fresh apricots, pomegranate. What is it? Pomegranate, like, avocado, pomegranate. I remember when I was little, you didn't have to pay $1,000. My my niece cracks up at me because I always, whenever something's a lot, I always say that's $1,000. Okay, it's like 3 or 2 or 5. However, back in the day, it was cents for avocados and pomegranate. I mean, we had a neighbor, they had a pomegranate tree, a pomegranate tree. When did this become so much? The thing is, we need to just plant these things ourselves and pick them. That stuff should be like free. I have a cousin in Costa Rica, and she, in her backyard, has an avocado tree. She has a ton of herb trees, and it's just amazing. She just goes in the back and pick lemongrass, and she just picks stuff from the backyard, and then just, that's my dream. I have a good sized backyard, and I just need to put that on my on my blueprint to have it be one of the things that I at least start this year. So here I go. I put myself on the spot. So while I'm talking, you think of your thing as well. Think of that thing that you want to do, that you need to do for your new beginning. Maybe it's something about ending a way that you were eating. We can start there, a way that you were eating. Let this be the completion of that. And so that we're moving towards the beginning of next year, it's a whole different thing. You're beginning a new way of eating living foods for your health, for your wealth, for your body. It's like vital. It's close to life. And then I'm just going to read off these other things. Um, and I remember just real quick, because last time I talked about aging, and then I came up with my three. I was looking up other ones, and my three would be awareness, gratitude. Nope, not that one. No, my three would be adore, because I was like going through some and I was asking Chat GPT and I just didn't like what it was coming up with because adore kept coming up with me for A, because adore, we need to adore ourselves. There was a song by Prince called Adore You, adore, and it's just that word is so beautiful to me. So adore means appreciate and affection for oneself and others. Adore. You have to adore yourself before you can adore someone else. Remember, you're not doing it for yourself. How are you going to give that to someone else? It's then you're taking away from yourself, and that's going to deplete you. You're going to have a half empty cup. We talking, we want full cups, running over cups. So adore, and then I came, and the other words for me was graceful, because I think women, I think we're so beautiful. We're so beautiful. Everything about us is just beauty. So graceful. Let's walk in our gracefulness. Be graceful to ourselves. Be graceful to others. Graceful. Of course, graceful, you have gratitude, you have giving, all of that. But graceful is graciousness and elegance. Elegance in behavior and attitude. You see that? Elegance. Elegance in behavior and attitude. This is just what came to my heart was adore, graceful, and then empowerment. Because we got the power. We got the power. So engaging and supporting oneself and others to achieve goals. So engaging and supporting oneself to achieve goals. That's something that I enjoy. I enjoy when I'm empowering myself. That's just my passion. And I like to empower other women. I like to empower them. I like to, because I enjoy doing that for myself and I enjoy giving that. That's just how I'm wired, and it's a gift that I have. I feel fulfilled when I'm doing that. When I'm doing these things, I feel fulfilled. That's why I do it. So if you do what you love, then the wealth, the money will follow. So I love it. It's something I would do for free, and it fulfills me. Okay, so that I just want to get to that for the aging part, and then I'm just going to go over some of these uh, um, fruits and vegetables really quick, just so you can have an idea. So we talked about fruits. If you go into poetry, I mean, like meat products. I'm normally a fish person, so you can have fish, pork, poetry. I don't know why I don't think that's coming out right. Meat and chicken, and and then your protein could be beans, lentil, chickpeas, that's rich in protein and fiber. If you're not doing red meat. So for some reason, red meat's not on here. I eat red meat maybe like once or twice a year, but that's my thing. Like if I see a good piece and I desire it, I'll eat it. I'm not like, I don't eat that. I don't eat this. I don't eat that. Whatever. If I want it one time out of the year, I'll have it. But however, I'm trying to do more beans, vegan, less meat, even fish. But that's just me. You have to figure out what's going to work for you. And if you're eating, fish, meat, whatever, make sure it's a good piece. Make sure it's fresh. Make sure, you kind of, there's certain stores where you know the product is going to be good. Make sure you're putting good product in your body. Don't just eat it from fast food places. Just be cautious when you're eating out, that type of thing. Just be aware of what you're putting in what you're eating and digesting, okay? So then we have a whole grains. You have quinoa, you have brown rice, you have oats, okay? And then you have fermented foods, which is yogurt. Um, and they have something here. I'm gonna spell it out. I'm not gonna try to figure it out. Message me. SAUERKRAUT. It's rich in probiotics and vitamin C. Okay. And then kombucha. No kombucha because I drink a lot of kombucha. Kombucha. Even you got to be careful when you're having kombucha out there. Look at the sugar that it has in it because well, I shouldn't say the product, but anyway, some of them have a high content of sugar. You want to be mindful. But that one brand that I was going to say, they also make a brand of kombucha that has less sugar. Then your water, hydration, water, green tea, herbal tea. Okay. It doesn't have coffee on here, even though I have some good coffee that I sell. And then there are spices and herbs, which would be your turmeric, your ginger, your garlic. And then they always say, if you're going to have chocolate, have dark chocolate, cacao, and it would improve blood flow and skin hydration. So there we have it. I know I went down that pretty fast, but you know what? I'm going to be staying in this area for some time with mind, body, and spirit. It's food for your body, food for your mind, food for your spirit. That's going to, and then food for your behavior. How does that look? How does it all look to get us to complete and to have a new beginning 2025? Because, we have 6 months to do that. But in these 6 months, we're going to live. We're not waiting like until 2025. We're living and we're doing it now. Because now faith is the substance of things hoped for, and it is the evidence of things not seen. So if you think it, you speak it, to be it, to create the life that you love, and to live on that vision every day. From my best spirit to your best spirit. Ciao.